So let's start our presentation. Dear colleagues, let us introduce our presentation to you together with Dr. Marco Nino, Educators' Perspectives on Gains and Losses in Online Learning. This is the result of an international research completed by a team of authors, Dr. Vlad Jenin, Dr. Marco Nino, and myself, and published by a peer-reviewed reputable journal, International Scientific Journal of Universities and Leadership. But before we start our presentation, let us make a little poll with you.
Yes, please raise your hand if you have a online teaching experience who has been more positive experience. Oh, okay. We see many people here, they have good positive experience. Let us say if any online teaching experience brought you any problems more than gains. Oh, okay. So let us see our research, what tell you about our results.
So as we see, online teaching left nobody indifferent. Let's see how it compares with our research. But first, why we decided to do it. Despite online has aroused intense interest and lots of discussion, we failed to find any coherent specific research summarizing the teachers' perspectives. But from conversations and literature, we discovered that online learning opens new expectations of educators, in particular higher technological competency and proficiency, and even ability to teach students how to use technology, and becoming a social moderator, creating the sense of community and enhancing social interactions. Dr. Marco Nino will tell what literary research brought us to these ideas.
Yes, of course, these are some of our literature review. You can find more in the research itself. For example, lack of government policy, it is not clear, as we know, it is new for many countries. So that's why it is not a clear policies or regulations. Lack of communication between students and faculty, face-to-face communication. This is another issue, which is social isolation. And as we know, the content for online courses is different from the regular or non-online courses in terms we have more heavy workload, such as discussion question, assignments, more contents, more reading, as well as technical issue. It is really a very important issue that was faced by many faculties, students, regardless their location. Finally, the skills and attitude of faculty who are willing to work or using different digital devices to facilitate their sessions, digital competence. Next. On the other hand, we found different stimulation toward online education. It is more convenient, more flexible for many faculties and the students to join the programs, as well as technology advancements. Improvement in technology has encouraged many faculties and many students really to join the program, online program. Price is different completely from in regular classes. It's more affordable, as well as more opportunity to offer different programs. The student has opportunity to join different programs which are available online.
Thank you. So thus we set ourselves an objective to establish the balance of losses from online education and gains in the educator's perspective. And respectively, the research questions were: what are the problems and limitations of online learning so widely discussed? What are the gains? And what are the benefits of online learning that can be implemented in face-to-face and hybrid modalities? We used complex methodology combining interviews which were conducted in the United States as well as developing countries, Jordan, Nepal, Ukraine, with a vast variety of educators, content analysis, and a survey which was distributed via a Google form to our respondents. And now let us share the results of our research and conclusions. First of all, discovering problems in online learning, we grouped them into several categories, and communication problems appeared to be the leading category. First of all, the lack of students' attention and concentration, eye contact, body language, followed by technology issues, first of all, for students, and as prompted by our respondents, control issues, inability to monitor the use of external resources, and even the examinee's identity during the exam, as well as time limit in some courses. And although we did not expect it, not so important were the issues of methodology, lack of specific methodological instruction and textbooks, and lack of technological training. But on the other hand, numerous new gains and new opportunities were discovered. First of all, for the students, from the educator's perspective, primarily lying in developing of new skills, communication skills, because communication was revealed as a problem, and here was the room for development, for improvement. Flexibility of schedules, formation of teamwork and team building skills, and more opportunities for foreign students and working adults to get education, as well as time management skills, new soft skills. For educators themselves, the major gain was flexibility of the working schedule, as well as saving on time and travel-related expenses. And of course, better work-life balance and more opportunities for professional development and using new additional technological resources. Viewing at the balance of losses and gains, we can see, as prompted by the color legend here, that 23.4% of educated rated the experience of online teaching as extremely positive and 51.9% as positive. That is, approximately 75% of educated said yes to online learning. Only 14.3% rated the experiences as neutral and 10.4% as negative, which means that online education has a support of the educators community. And now Dr. Nino will introduce the conclusions of the research.
Yeah, as the result, we have many really benefits of learning online. So it is one of the most important, build more communication between the faculties, between the students, online team work as well, more educational opportunity that is available for most of the students and faculty to work as well, more opportunity for professional development by providing different training session online, different using different digital device tools and apps as well, flexibility to work, to improve, to balance the work life and the work itself. So where the student can join from, as we mentioned, our faculty can work from all different their location without traveling, as well as this lead to saving time and expenses. And there is still, this is the most important point, that there is opportunity to use these benefits from online to be implemented into face-to-face or hybrid modality, such as using different multimedia or technology devices, apps, as we mentioned, to increase the interactive session and class sessions, and real-time learning tests and quizzes by using technology as well, and more interactive classroom learning where all the tools might be used, more interactive session between faculties and the students. Tanya?
And the recommendations were driven from the problems that we have discovered. First of all, it is the need to create the institutional basis in some countries which lack even the legislation regulating online learning, and creating platforms, whether digital or physical, for training, professional development, and exchanging of best practices between educators. Then, of course, based on the institutional documents, the creation of multimodal instructional materials and software can be enhanced. as well as we discovered a need to introduce methodologies for testing student learning outcomes without monitoring the use of resources. That is, creative assignments where the students cannot literally take some material from the outside source. So these are our discoveries from our research, and the reference to the article which we mentioned in the beginning of our presentation. I will presently send the link to our colleagues where you will find the references to all other sources mentioned. And at this point, let us thank you for your attention and keep in mind that
yeah, and leave you with this quota: online education is like a rising tide. It is going to lift all boats.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll be happy to answer your questions now.
Thank you.
Thanks. I stop recording.